So with the Witch Queen Destiny 2 DLC being out now for a couple of weeks, there are a few more items, new exotics, and new mods that we can play around with, and I think I've found one of the funnest and best Warlock builds to date that is in Destiny 2. Now, as much as Destiny is about killing supers, explosions, doing as much damage as you possibly can in the shortest amount of time, sometimes that can get a little bit boring, and you're sort of sick of just killing everything in strikes, in raids, in story missions, everything like that. You're just sick of just doing damage, and maybe you think, maybe this game would be a bit more fun if I tried more of a role-playing sort of character, and I tried doing a bit of healing instead of killing everything all the time. Well, with the new Warlock-specific exotic glaive, that is exactly what you can do. You can turn yourself into a healing machine, and you do not have to worry about killing anything. Just focus on keeping your teammates alive and topped up to full health. A literal support healer. Solar 3.0 temporarily Warlock build is what I'm going to be calling it until Solar 3.0 actually comes out. Now, there are obviously other Warlock healer builds out there with weapons like Lumina and Benevolent Dawn. However, with the new exotic glaive, this one varies and makes it even more support role based than before. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So getting straight into the build breakdown, there are two main exotics that you need for this build. One of them being the new Warlock specific exotic glaive, Edge of Intent. You can grab this by doing all of the missions on the town board in the Enclave, and then once you've completed all those missions, you can build this from the shaping machine. The best part about this exotic glaive is the new exotic perk, Restorative Turret. Once the energy meter is full on this glaive from killing adds with the ranged attack feature, you can deploy a healing turret wherever you want on the battlefield. And the best part about it is you can have more than one turret active at any time, as long as you can keep your energy level up and you can keep punching them out as fast as possible and as fast as you can get special ammo. And the second exotic is the Boots of the Assembler. Basically, what these do is when you deploy a healing or empowering rift, it will grant you little noble seekers like Arc Souls that will track out to your teammates and heal them or empower them. When these noble seekers either heal or empower your teammates, it will give you a rift extension of about 6 seconds, meaning this rift will last a very long time, and you will have another rift ready before this first one even runs out. So you can already sort of see the hint that I'm getting at. Stand in your healing rift and you'll heal your allies. Shoot healing turrets out for extra healing. You can sort of already see the build coming to pieces. Obviously, you want to be running Middle Tree Dawnblade. The best part about this is the Benevolent Dawn and the Divine Protection, so you can convert your grenade into a healing sort of Divine Protection overshield that you can throw at your allies, and whenever they run over it, they get an overshield and full health. So you already have 3 perks of healing your teammates. 1, the healing turret. 2, the healing rift that will send out healing bots. And 3, your Divine Protection grenade. So these 3 healing aspects are your 3 go-to parts of this build. Now, you can combine this with any guns that you like. Most of the time you won't be using your other guns, as you'll be focusing on getting healing turrets out from your glaive. So your main focus is going to be using your glaive. But I like to use this with a new raid submachine gun. I got a pretty decent roll. Or you can combine this with a Fatebringer or a Hung Jury, whatever you fancy. The primary isn't really a big deal. However, for your heavy, you will definitely need a rocket launcher, in particular a solar one. Heat and Vengeance is a great option right here, and I'll get into that why in just a second. So basically, getting into the mods on all the armor that you'll want to be running, the basic generic of this build is generate as many orbs of power as possible and generate as many solar wells as possible, so that you can use all these bonuses to reduce the cooldowns of your abilities, as you're going to be wanting to throw Benevolent Dawn grenades down as fast as possible, and you're going to be wanting putting down healing rifts as fast as possible, and wells as much as possible. So the basis is use your abilities to get more abilities, get orbs to get more abilities, and reduce the cooldown, so you just have endless abilities and endless healing for your teammates. So on the helmet, I have Solar Siphon and Harmonic Siphon. Basically what this means is defeating enemies with matching solar weapons with your solar subclass will generate orbs of power. That is why I recommended using the Heat and Vengeance, as it is solar with a solar subclass. And Well of Life basically means when you pick up a solar elemental well, it increases the regeneration of all your abilities on your subclass. So because of this, you want to be using other mods that generate solar wells. The first one that you can run is elemental armaments. So when you defeat enemies with a matching weapon to your matching subclass, like the glaive as it is solar, or the Heathen Vengeance which is also solar, there is an escalating chance that you will generate a solar elemental well. Now obviously you want to use Focusing Strike and Bolstering Detonation here. Basically what this means is every time you do a melee attack, it grants class ability energy, and whenever you cause damage with a grenade, it grants class ability energy. So grenades and melees both generate more healing rifts, basically. And for the chest piece, because the glaive is the #1 source of power in this build, you want to have glaive reserves on to increase that ammo count. And thirdly, the explosive well maker. Basically, rapidly defeating enemies with explosive solar damage will spawn a elemental well. This is why I recommended the Heathen Vengeance, because this elemental well maker, as soon as you kill any enemies with that Heathen Vengeance, it's a guaranteed solar well to pick up. So that's easy solar wells right there. On the boots, you want to run double absolution. So anytime you pick up an orb of power, it reduces all your ability cooldowns on your class. And font of wisdom. Again, picking up those solar wells will grant you a significant increase to intellect, basically meaning that you will get your super faster. Finally, on the bond, you will obviously want to use double distribution. So whenever you use your class ability near enemies, it reduces the cooldown of all your other abilities, so more grenades and more melees. So that's basically it. I'll just quickly run through all my mods again, just to show you so you can copy them down and read up them on yourself. Now obviously these are what I recommend, but if you have other mods that are better that you want to use, go for it. You know, this isn't the specific build you need to use, but it is what I've figured out works the best. So as you can see on screen, the best way to do this is just to have that glaive ready and kill. It's roughly about 5 or 6 adds before that little charge bar is full. You want to kill as many adds as possible and get those healing turrets out as soon as possible. Drop your wells, use your Benevolent Dawns and healing rifts on the side just to, send out those Noble Seekers to heal your teammates. Unfortunately, the Well of Radiance doesn't actually send out the Noble Seekers with the boots of the Assembler. So what you can do is actually just put a healing rift inside of your well. That is fine. That will then proc those Noble Seekers to then heal your teammates. But as you can see, the main theory is just to use this glaive, tag adds, and get that energy up as fast as possible. Once that energy bar is full, you want to hold your reload button, and as you can see a couple times, it converts the glaive. You do this little hand motion, and your next shot will shoot that healing turret out. The only problem that I've found with this build is getting enough ammo in the glaive to be able to put multiple healing turrets down at one time. So as you can see right here, I just did the animation and there is a healing turret. I haven't exactly timed how long it lasts for, but it lasts long enough so that you can get a second drone up before the first one runs out. As you can see, it's just constant wells and grenade abilities and even healing rifts. Keeping this ability spam up is as important as possible to keep your allies alive. This build is best used in a 6-man activity like the Wellspring or even raids. I haven't tried it yet in a Nightfall, but it could be very viable in those situations, but it's definitely most useful in 6-man activities. And because of most of the mods that we have selected on our armor pieces, the more abilities that we use, the more abilities that we get. As you saw from the mods, when you get those melee kills and grenade damage, it gives you back that ability energy. When you get kills with solar weapons, it gives you ability energy. The whole basis is just to use all your abilities as fast as possible on cooldown so that you get more abilities. Now there is one hidden perk that I've seen in this build so far. Each time you pick up a solar elemental well, as you can see on the left there, you will have a little buff called healing, and it will last for 10 seconds, and every solar elemental well that you pick up, it will re-proc that buff back up to 10 seconds. And that is basically just a passive healing ability where you will just slowly regenerate health over that 10 seconds. So this is a great hidden little perk that I have found in this build. But that basically summarizes the build, guys. If you guys think of anything that you could add to this build, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be sure to test it out and let you guys know if it makes it better. If there's any mods that I'm missing out of, I certainly know I don't have every mod in the game. There's plenty that I'm missing. So if you guys have a mod that I haven't selected here, let me know if it's any good. But until next time, guys, if you enjoyed this Destiny 2 build video, drop a like, drop a comment, let me know on some other builds that you would like me to try out or even explain to you guys, and I can do that. But if you want to see more Destiny 2 content from me and this channel, be sure to subscribe. But until next time, guys, later.